Welcome to Real Estate Investment Management Brokers Development LLC, plumbing, exterior, and excavation. Finding a punctured water line that goes from the road to the house. So there are certain rules to follow when you put in an exterior pipe, a water supply line. One of them is it needs to be a certain depth. I think different places have different depths, but I think it's at least 6 feet, which we followed. The other thing that some things are guidance and not required. The other thing is you're supposed to put a bed of sand around the water supply line. Like, notice this dirt, it has rocks like this. You can imagine if you backfill and those heavy weight of the rocks could easily puncture the water supply line. Now, the other thing, we got some recommendation that we didn't like from plumber and turned into a big disaster. Plumber told us, well, gee, if you want to put a water sprinkler shutoff, add that as a joint to your water supply line that comes from the road. And another person told us, add, if you want, these things are called farmer spouts like this. If you want that, add that as a joint too. So here, so water sprinkler supply line there, farmer's water tap here. And it would have been better if we just did this, had a tap coming off the house, which we eventually did. And that looks nice, and we added a hot and cold, not just cold. And what happened here is that when we backfilled, make sure you're looking at what I am. When we backfilled at this compression joint, it came undone. So 5 days of digging by hand. Thank goodness we found it. And then we're just going to put a fitting here, push fitting here to here, and cut all this other stuff out. And then if we want a sprinkler system, we can additionally come out of the house. So there's just less chance of a disconnection in the ground like that. And then so we'll put on those fittings, and then we're going to protect it with a pipe, and then we're going to put sand around it, and then we'll backfill. Now, while I'm here, I wanted to speak to you about excavation. This may save your life. When you excavate, most people have an excavator, and then there are these columns, these steel columns that you put in to protect from a cave-in. Now, that is what we recommend you do, okay? Now, we didn't have the money for that. So, what's an alternative? An alternative is to do something like terrace farming. Now, we saw this, or we dug and found this joint that was disconnected day 1.5. So we could have been compelled to just try to go in there and fix it. But look at how deep this site is. we were scared to death of a cave-in, and it happens. It's a big deal. You've got to protect yourself from this danger. I was doing an excavation one time, and it was only 5 feet tall, and a piece about the size of a refrigerator moved over just where I had been just seconds before. So we recommend you rent the excavator and you rent the steel columns that go in to protect you. We did not have the money for that. So what could we do instead? We built terraces. Look at this dig. And this took us an extra 3.5 days to do the terraces. So let me show you. So we thought if there was a cave-in, it would be limited because of the terraces. Now, take a look at that. The other thing was we didn't have money for an excavator, a machine, so we thought, well, gee, what do we have? We use this hammer drill to hammer out essentially steps or terraces to protect for an extra 3.5 days. Buckets, shovels, and this great gorilla cart wheelbarrow. And some buckets. We used an ice scraper and a hammer, shovel, and this Makita hammer drill. And so this is, let me show you this line. So this is the water. The water goes from here to here. So we want to sum up here. So this is plumbing, a water supply line, the exterior of your house. We recommend you go straight from the street to the house with no branches for sprinkler systems or farmers' taps. And then further, if you have to do an excavation, we recommend you get the excavation equipment and the safety steel columns to protect yourself from a cave-in. It's a big deal. And what we did, which we specifically do not recommend because it's dangerous, but to make things safer, because we couldn't afford to use an excavator, we made terraces, which is a safety feature for excavating. We hope this increases your safety, gives you knowledge about exterior water supply plumbing, and gives you some safety ideas for excavating. Thank you.